welcome again to our Sunday meditation. This is where we explore the path of awakening to enlightenment. And while we're waiting for some people to come in, let's have a little meditation here to a couple of songs. And while we're meditating, I'd like for you to focus on your heart and then your third eye. And maybe every once in a while you might feel a little energy up here, but however it works for you, this ought to be a lot of fun. Going into spirit should always be fun and happy. So let me see here. Take a breath. Very good. Well, here we are again. I am welcoming the spring. Finally. The long winter is over. The year of the dark night of the soul for our little planet is ending. Things will start looking better. You may say, well, it doesn't look like it now. Yes, it does. Things are going to get a lot better. Why not believe that? Today, I would like to talk about the spiritual path and why you're on it, or maybe why you're contemplating being on it. And what is this enlightenment thing? I think, as I've said many times, enlightenment has a bad rep. People don't think that you can be enlightened and have any fun, when actually it's quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Open your heart a little more. There you go. I won't hurt. I'm safe. I know they all say that, right? But it's true. Now raise the energy up a little bit. There you go. Relax. Open your heart. How nice. My brother Warren is visiting me this week. I haven't seen him in a while. He's had his shots. I've had my shots. We're having a good time. And he told me a story that he had read from Ram Dass. And I'd never heard this story before. So I'm going to retell it and embellish it in my own way, because I can. He compared the enlightenment process to paths going up a mountain. And in the beginning, it's a broad highway, well paved. And you go up to this one spot that's an overlook. And it's beautiful. There's Starbucks there. There's beautiful parks and things. You can get there and you can look out and see the view, look over the cities and the valleys. And it's just so beautiful. And it's so nice. And there's another path, a little narrower, it goes up the mountain a little further. It's not as wide as the other one. And it's not paved. It's just kind of a gravel path. But you go up that path, kind of struggle a little bit going up. Footing's not easy. But you get to this other overlook that's even higher. Oh my goodness, what a view. But there's only an outdoor toilet and a fire pit. That's about it. You're up there and you get this incredible view. And a lot of people, that's good enough. Just like at the first level, some people got that and went back home. Now they come up to the second level. Some of them do. They enjoy the view. They go back home. But there's a third path, and it's a rocky, narrow path, kind of treacherous. It's easy to fall, but it's going up higher. And where at the beginning there may have been 100 people, when you got to the second one, there were like 50 or 60 people there. But going up this path, only 2 or 3. It's a very rough path. It's going up very steep. The altitude is there. You can't carry much because it's kind of treacherous in a way. But a few let go of everything and go up that path. At the top, you see all around, not just part of the valley and what's in front of the mountain, but you can actually see all around the mountain. But there's not a lot of people there. Some of us want to see that higher view. Some of us are willing to crawl up and do what's necessary to find our way into enlightenment. The only thing between you and enlightenment is everything. That's why to attain enlightenment, you have to let go of everything. Sounds pretty simple. It's actually very complicated. Because everything in your life, everything in your life is a thing. Can you let go of it? Can you let go of that part of you that says, if I go any further in the spirit, I'll become insane, and I do not want to lose my sanity? Well, then, you're not letting go. What are you hanging on to? What other people may think? How everything is being judged? To go up that last path is by yourself. You take no one with you. You take nothing with you. But yourself. And as you let go of your egoic structures, as you let go of your judgments, as you let go of your attachments, as you let go of everything in your life, everyone and everything, and you focus on the divine, you're standing in that light as it washes over you. And as you start to dissolve, like a cube of sugar under some warm water, you feel everything go away. There's an emptiness that's full. There's a fullness that's empty. There's a vastness. And the only way you can get there is by letting go. Now, we all do this. Everybody does this. Everyone on this planet will do that. Everyone will let go of everything. It's what happens when you die. How much of your last life, if you believe in that sort of thing, which I happen to, I don't believe in it, I know it, but your last life is What do you remember? Can you speak that language? Do you remember your parents, your brothers, your sisters, if you had them in that last life? What did you do? You can't remember. That's what happens when you die. You leave everything behind, and here you are. Here you are again. When you die, you let go of everything. You don't take anything with you. There's a little process that goes on after you die in the bardo, in which everything that you're hanging on to, every concept of your life, of what's right and what's wrong, your political views, your religious views, your ideas on morality and social mores, you watch them slip away until you become your original face. And the original face is that part of you that is before the incarnation, and it's the part of you that will be there after this incarnation is done. And that's kind of cool, because on the other side of all of that letting go, when you have seen your original face, you will enter into a presence in which everyone that you've ever known is there in their original face. Not what you remember them as being, not their physical body, not their personalities, none of that. But you know that's who they are. Just like now, you can walk in, if you're any kind of awareness at all, and I'm sure all of you have experienced this, you'll meet somebody and you just know you've known them. You can't say when or where, but you know them. Your very best friend that you've had in this life. You knew them before, you just don't remember. Were they your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your teacher, your enemy? Who was that person? Who are you? What is your original face? Who are you once you drop language? Who are you when you let go of your religion and your idea about God? Can you let go of God? It's said that if you meet Buddha on the path, you should kill him, because that's not Buddha. Enlightenment is really not found on this earth. It's found in everything. You are enlightened, but you forgot. And I'm here to remind you. You practice by meditating. In your silence, you sit, and emotions and thoughts arise. Sometimes like a single bird, sometimes like a flock of birds. And in your meditation, using your mantra or whatever technique you have, you let go of them. It's a matter of will and intention. Will and intention do not require thought. They don't require language. That's why in meditation, that's the only thing we use, is our will and our intention. We set our will on the divine. We set our intention on the divine. And with unbending will and intention, We focus on the divine and let go of anything. Let go of everything. The last thing you let go of is yourself. I had a meditation in Scotland. I've talked about it many times. But in that meditation, I was standing before this altar in my vision, and this altar had a big flame on it. The altar was enlightenment. And I had to throw everything in my life on that altar. Everything that I loved. My dog, my friends, my family, my dreams about who I thought I was and what I was supposed to do. I even had to throw my teacher on the fire. There was nothing between me and the divine. Nothing. No thing. And I threw myself on the fire. Let go. Quit trying to control your progress. And as I burned up in that fire, became the phoenix, a bird rising out of the ashes that cannot be burned because it is made of the fire itself. What will it take for you to get to that place where you're willing to give up everything for the divine? And what the answer is, I'll just give you a spoiler alert here. The answer is that's your ego you have to let go of. All of those things are your ego. You defining yourself by them, by that, by your dreams, by your failures. You defined yourself and you've lost your divinity. You've lost your eternality. You've lost your original face. But the original face never went away. You've just put stuff between you and it. And as you let go of that stuff, all of those things, all of those angers, all of the hatreds, all the resentment, all of the control issues that it has to be done a certain way, in a certain order. Can you really surrender to spirit? And the answer is, of course you can. And you will. You've done it thousands of times. You've had many, many lifetimes. I read a title of a book once, I think it was written by Ram Dass, called Conscious Dying. And it actually had to do with dying, physical dying, which is an interesting thing. But I think the book should have been oriented toward meditation. When you meditate, you practice dying. You're letting go of thoughts, emotions. You're letting go of things in your meditation. You're trying to stop your thought. As you stop your thought, the original face starts to surface a little bit. And when the higher self starts to manifest itself, the ego becomes very threatened, as well it should be. But if you continue, if you can just keep your will and your intention on the divine and let go, the one thing that you should hold in your consciousness when you're meditating is the feeling of letting go. Fear, let go. Anger, let go. Oh my God, I'm becoming enlightened. How wonderful. Look at me. How I'm so much advanced. Let go, let go, let go. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. If you're going to be afraid of everything, but not afraid of nothing. Stepping into some Zen here. So the idea is that when you are attached to things, you suffer. Unless that attachment is focused with unbending will and intention upon the divine, the attachment to letting go, the attachment to surrendering to spirit. And you practice it every day in your meditation. You sit there and say your little mantra, you go through your bead 108 times, it's your destiny. You will go up to the top of the mountain. You may just go up to the lower foothills, as I said earlier. Take a quick look. It's a lot of fun. It's happy, nice people. You go back home. You may go up to the second level. It's a little higher, a little harder. Not so many people go there. There's none of the amenities there, just an outhouse and a fire pit, but you're up higher. The view is so much better. Oh my gosh. Not so many people though. And then there's that narrow little gravelly path that goes even higher into the mountains. And you pretty much have to do that yourself. You find that you can't climb that last path carrying a big backpack. You have to put things aside. But once you're at the top, it's not just seeing one side of the mountain. You see it all. Don't get discouraged. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about losing yourself. I have lost myself in spirit totally, at least 1,000 times. And I come back. The meditation I had in Scotland, I came back. There was my little doggy. There were my friends and my family. There were my students. There was my connection with my teacher. But I was different. And while I cherish and love the people in my life and honor all of those beings who helped awaken me, especially my teacher, I realized that it's all in me. And I also recognize the really interesting thing is that there's just one. There's just one spirit, one divine spirit in and through all things. In its own sense, in its higher sense, everyone and everything is enlightenment because that's what they're made of. You say, well, how can death and everything part of enlightenment? Well, that's because you're stuck in things. Everything is enlightenment because everything is made of the infinite. How you take that energy and the realities that you create out of your fear and out of your anger and out of your prejudice and all of these things, that's your creation. But to the enlightened mind, all of these worlds are shining. The Bodhisattva vow has been complete. Inside of you, all sentient beings have become enlightened. Inside of you. The appearance may not look like that, but for you, inside of you, everything's enlightenment. It cannot be otherwise. You and I are the same, made of the same stuff. We are individuals, but in reality, we're so connected. A drop of water in the sea cannot be different from the other drops of water in the sea. It's still a drop. When you start to get this, you'll find that you naturally quit doing things that maybe you've done your whole life. Fibbing, stretching the truth a little bit so that people will think better of you. Trying to model your life after other people because you think your own life is so awful. You start to see the divine spark. I mention this almost every time, I think, is that when I meditate on you, I see your original face, not what you're projecting to me in the form of a man or a woman at a certain age or whatever. No, not any of that. I go down, I see the original face. I know when I see it because I fall in love, totally in love with you. Not a love that says we have to date and, go together and, cohabitate and that sort of thing. No. This is a more divine love, a deeper love, a recognition that we've been together a very long time. So we have to let go of things, okay? Practice it in your meditation. If you can, begin your meditation by recalling your highest spiritual experience that you can recall. And pull that memory into your mind. Set your will and intention that says, this is where I'm going to begin. Letting go of everything else. All expectations, all constrictions. Let it go. Take the timer off of your meditation table. Don't worry about the length of time you meditate. Concentrate on how much you can let go. How long can you sit there and just keep letting go of everything? Maybe it's just a minute or two. Maybe it's for 2 or 3 hours. But pretty soon, you'll find things you can't let go of, except one, the divine. I hope this encourages you somewhat. I do. We'll end with this. Have a good week. Namaste.